Now to continuing coverage of the Central Texas flooding tragedy. More than 2 weeks after devastating flooding left more than 130 people dead, there are growing calls for accountability. As News 15's Lee Waldman shows us, a special legislative session in Texas is looking into preparedness changes as the search and recovery efforts continue.
Search efforts are continuing in the Texas Hill Country following the deadly July 4th flood. In hard-hit Kerr County, where at least 107 people have died, officials have revised the number of people still missing from 97 to 3 Saturday. The drastic decrease comes after many of the people initially reported missing were found safely, according to a release from the city of Kerrville.
We are coming to the near completion of the search and rescue phase. That's phase one. Then we get to the recovery stage. And where we are, folks, is we're getting ready to start the recovery stage.
In a special commissioners court meeting, Kerr County engineer Charlie Hastings told commissioners the conditions made survival nearly impossible in some areas.
Our model is showing heights of 40 feet, and we already know from talking to people 55 feet on some parts of the river. You can't live through that. Yep. It was a tsunami. It was an inland tsunami.
While local officials work to address concerns, Governor Greg Abbott has called a special session for the Texas legislature to address items like improving early warning systems for flood-prone areas, providing relief funding, and strengthening emergency communications. Before the special session started, Texas Democrats and activists came together to draw attention to the tragedy and the role they believe the changing climate played.
This isn't just happening in Texas. North Carolina, New Mexico, and New Jersey have recently experienced unprecedented 1,000-year floods, and these deaths are caused by the climate crisis.
Lee Waldman, News 15.
And now to continuing coverage of the Central Texas flooding tragedy. More than 2 weeks after the devastating flooding left 130 people dead, there are growing calls tonight for accountability. As News 15's Lee Waldman shows us, the scrutiny over preparedness comes as search and rescue efforts remain ongoing.
When you're not strong, I'll be your friend.
Dozens of camp trunks sitting across from the White House, each representing a child killed when floodwaters swept through Central Texas this month.
They were away at summer camp doing what kids do at summer camp.
Climate activists rallied alongside Texas parents in the nation's capital on Monday. They blamed federal cuts to disaster preparedness programs for worsening the impact of the flood and called on Congress to restore funding.
Key Texas weather offices are understaffed, including those responsible for issuing flood alerts. Emergency coordination at the local level has been weakened due to reduced federal support.
The National Weather Service office that's responsible for the region has defended its response and says it had extra staff on duty the night of the storms. On Monday, state lawmakers began a special legislative session to discuss solutions for improving flood warning systems along the Guadalupe River.
When that river rose 26 feet in 45 minutes, this is an act of God that happens once every really about 1,000 years.
Meanwhile, crews continue to search for those still unaccounted for in Central Texas. Over the weekend, Kerr County officials announced nearly 100 people who had been listed as missing have been found safe. They say the progress reflects a, quote, unwavering commitment to bringing clarity and hope to families during an unimaginably difficult time. And Kerr County is going to hold a meeting on Tuesday for those who've been impacted by the floods. In Dallas, Brooke Taylor, News 15.